Today we are going to start chapter 4, moving charges and magnetism. Okay. In class 10th we have studied in class 10th we have already studied the magnetic effect of current. So in more elaborate way we are going to study again a little bit more new concept apart from class 10th in more details. So there are a lot of introductions here. Whenever we talk about magnetism or magnetic effect of current, the first name which comes should always remember the Danish physics scientist Christian and Ørsted. Notice what is one of the you can say who discovered this one is the Ørsted, which is in you can see in fourth line. Then in 1820, Danish physicist Hans Christian Ørsted noticed that the current in straight wire caused a noticeable deflection in nearby magnetic compass needle. Notice that a current in straight wire caused a noticeable deflection in nearby magnetic compass needle. He investigated this phenomena and he found that the alignment of needle is tangential to an imaginary circle which has straight he found that the alignment of needle is tangential to an imaginary circle which has straight wire at its center and has its plane perpendicular to wire. So this we can see in this figure. In all the figures, what you can see in the first figure, the wire is the center is the wire, okay, the wire which is perpendicular to the plane of paper, which is passing through the center. And if we place a needle, the needle we have done, if you have seen, you can see the magnetic line of force. You have heard about magnetic line of forces, how they are drawn, if you remember what we have learned or what we have done in class 10th. So around this if you place a magnetic needle, it will direct in such a way that you will get a circle in any way. A, B, C all represent the same. In A it is one and one circle, but actually there are so many circles around that circle. You can see here the magnetic field is straight long current carrying wire. The wire is perpendicular to the plane of paper. These are the differences. When dot is there, the orientation of needle is shown. The current emerge out of the plane of the paper. In A, the current emerge out. That means dot is when something is emerge out. And when current moves into the paper, we all symbolically we use this cross sign. Remember, at the center, when something get inside. In the fourth one, you are very clear. So many the arrangement of iron filling around the wires. We have done in class 10th. If you remember, the one tutorial, one experiment was there. The darkened end of the needle. Okay, these are the things. The first one who discovered is Ørsted. We always remember by that. He found that the alignment of needle is tangential, that we done. It is noticeable when the current is large and the needle is sufficiently close to a wire so that earth magnetic field may be good. Reversing the direction of current reverse the orientation of the needle. It was notable by the Ernst when the current is large and the needle is sufficiently close to a wire so that earth magnetic field may be ignored. Reverse the direction of current, reverse the orientation. If it is toward clockwise, then it will toward anti-clockwise. Deflection increase in the current on bringing the needle close to the wire. Iron filling is sprinkled around the wire, arrange themselves in its concentric circle, as we have seen. So Oersted concluded that moving charge or current produce a magnetic field in the surrounding. That's how Oersted concluded that moving charge or current produce a magnetic field in surrounding space. Following this, there was experiment in 1864. The law obeyed by electricity were filled by were the law obeyed by electricity are unified and formulated by Maxwell. Later on, Maxwell that means both are unified. James Maxwell, who then realized that light was in an electromagnetic rays. Radio waves were discovered by Hertz and produced by J.C. Bose and Marconi. But then a remarkable scientific technology progress took place in the 20th century. There was due to our increased understanding of electromagnetism and invention of devices for produce amplification, transmission, detection of electromagnetism. Electromagnetism means our mobile signals. Okay. So this is how the Oersted the moving charge, remember. Okay. So in this chapter we are going to first learn how magnetic field exert force on moving charge particle like electron, protons or current carrying wires, and we shall also see particle can be accelerated to very high energy in cyclotrons. And later on, so let's start with our main, that was introduction. Now we'll start section 4.2. Okay, electric field and magnetic field both are unified by Maxwell member, because one cannot be separated from the other. It's like that. Wherever there is electricity, there is always a magnetic effect. If you remember the electric field, the charge are the source of field, which produce electric field, and the E is simply Q upon and the force experience. And whenever a charge Q is placed in that electric field, another charge Q is placed in that electric field, then it experience a force F is equal to Q into E. Okay, as per the Coulomb's law. Okay, F is equal to Q into E in terms of force, in terms of Coulomb's law here, and the force in terms of electric field, Q into E. Just wanted to know what is important. Okay, there are a lot of things, so I'm just reducing. If you remember in the first two chapters, I always say that charge is static. We studied static charge. So static charge produces an electric field. So the current of moving charge produce a magnetic field, remember, which is a vector field, and it has several basic properties, and that magnetic field is identical to electrical field. It is defined at each point in space, just like electrical we defined area around. So it is just like a running current. And also as electrical field follow the obey the principle, so magnetic field also follow the. So let us suppose what 4.2 section says. Let us suppose that there is a point charge q with velocity v located at r at a given time t in presence of both electric field E and magnetic field B. Then the force on electric charge Q due to both the fields can be written as the first term you can see here, it is Q into E due to electrical field, and the second term is due to magnetic field. So this force was given by Lorentz. So this is called Lorentz force on the X, and you have okay. So the Lorentz, it depend upon q, v and b. You can see q, v and b. Q is the charge, v is the velocity with which it is moving, and b is the magnetic field. There is a lot of things in short, okay, in this textbook. So let us not, okay, let's go to our 10th class. Once the Oersted had experimentally identified that whenever current flows through the conductor, there is always a magnetic field around, and the direction of magnetic field is given by, if you remember in class 10 we have seen to the direction of magnetic field is given by two rules, famous rule, Maxwell right hand screw rule or cork rule. If a cork rule is turned so that it advances in the direction of current along the wire, then the direction in which the thumb rotate the direction of magnetic line of forces. Okay, I'll show you how it is done. So let's just read. I'm just reading from my textbook. If a cork screw is turned so that it advances in direction of current, if screw is turned in such a way that it advances in the direction of current along the wire, then the direction in which the thumb rotate is the direction of magnetic line of forces. Similarly, Fleming left hand rule, there are two rules. If current carrying conductor is held by right hand such that thumb point in the direction of current, then the curl of the finger will give the direction of magnetic field. So for this to show it, I have to use some app. So let me go back to my app one, so you don't see so many things in my, okay, I'm using a this, you can see now here two rules. I think it is much visible. Okay. The Maxwell right hand side, if cork is turned such that it is advancing direction. Now here you can see, okay, here you can see arrow. There is another one. So in the first figure you can see, in the A diagram you can see the current is flowing from bottom to top, the direction of current, and the curl figure and the circle is in, and the magnetic field direction, magnetic line of field direction is clock or anti-clock, it is anti-clockwise. So whenever you simple, if you remember, if you hold, okay, so whenever current is in upward direction, the magnetic line force is anti-clockwise direction. And in second diagram you can see, in this diagram you can see whenever current is going downward direction, then the current then the magnetic field direction is anti-clockwise direction. And similarly, if you look at the Fleming right rule, these are the screw rules, you can see it here. This I explained, so you have to try by your, or you can ask me later. So I'm going to my chapter again. What is main topic? I am just trying to go to that topic. There are so many topics, so that you will feel a little bit easy. So instead of that, I'll use my, you know it, what I am going to use it. This, okay. direction of magnetic field. So let's say this is an arrow direction. Okay, if this is the direction of current is moving, then the magnetic field around it will be in the form of circles. Okay, and the direction will always be toward the direction of, you can say it, anti-clockwise direction. Arrow is upward, so direction of magnetic field is also, it is like that. And in second case, if the direction of current is downward, and choose, okay, it should be center, I made a mistake. Okay, then the direction of magnetic field, it is downward. It's clockwise direction. I made a mistake again, I waited so long. Okay, clockwise. This is a simple rule. Maxwell right hand theorem, or if we can draw somehow screw rule, if we in the same way, if we want to draw a screw rule, so if I make a screw, okay, yeah, okay, I make a screw. Okay, these are those. It is not possible. I was trying, but impossible to do it. So after knowing the direction of magnetic field and magnetic the line of magnetic field lines directions are given by two rules: Fleming right hand grip rule and Maxwell right hand rule. So it's all about right hand. Use your right hand and fold all the fingers. If the thumb is upward and fingers downward, so what you can see, the direction of fingers is anti-clockwise direction. So this is the direction, and if your thumb is downward, then it is reverse. It is very much easy. Now, as you are aware, I'm not using a textbook. I'm just opening a new. As you are aware, that in electricity, when we had studied static electricity, we have started with Coulomb's law. Remember Coulomb's law for force of attraction. This will give a force of attraction for static charge, but in magnetism, so force of attraction, so in magnetic field also there is one beautiful law which is called Biot-Savart law. Okay, Biot-Savart law, and this just like it is just like a Coulomb law, but only different is this: in Coulomb's law we are talking about the force of repulsion or attraction between the charges, but in Biot-Savart law, as it is for the magnetic field, so as we know, the magnetic field is magnetic field produced due to current carrying conductor, so here no charges. So we will, so let's see how it is. So let's start our Biot-Savart law. Retry. Okay, I have to go back. That's a big problem here. So let's let us, hmm, let me open the chapter 4. Okay, BIOS 7. Look at the BIOS law in our textbook. In this, okay, basically in NCERT one. In our textbook it is there, but okay, there are a lot of things, so I'm just searching for BIOS 7 law. Oh, there are so many things. This is BIOS 7 law. So I am just as per our notebook I am going. So it is here in magnetic 4.5 section. Magnetic field due to current carrying element. Current carrying element means a smaller portion of conductor we are taking. We cannot take charge, so we are taking a smaller portion of conductor, long conducting wires. So what did Oersted experiment show? That the current carrying conductor produce a magnetic field around it, and the direction of magnetic field lines are given by Fleming right hand thumb rule and Cork or screw rules. Okay, so here we have used a current element. What is current element? Let's say now what is current element? Let us consider an infinite small element dl of conductor. You can see here, consider an infinite small element dl of conductor. The magnetic field dB due to this element is to be determined at point P. This is a very xy is a wire, okay, conducting wire, and very small element dl, a portion of it here, very small portion you can see. If I enlarge, can I see the portion? Yeah, we can see this arrow, okay, this the length of arrow or this blue arrow is that current element, means a smaller section of the of xy wires. So it's dl, okay. I don't think it's arrow, the length is equal to that current element. dl is the length of this arrow, this part, smaller portion of that. So consider, and the magnetic field dB due to this element is to be determined at point P, and due to this small element how much magnetic field is produced at point P. This is our aim. So how it is done, I'll show you in my whiteboard. In 1820, the Bio and Savetta, two scientists, have given an expression for magnetic field of current carrying element, and which is known as Biot-Savart law, and it is the basic law of, okay, electricity and magnetism. So let us draw a conductor. Why? Let us draw. Okay, for simplicity, what I'll do, in textbook I'll take a simple dark, and can I use a bigger one? I need something bigger. Nothing is there. We'll leave it. Okay. So what I'll do, this is a conducting wire. What happened now? Just now, oh, something happened. I may be selected. No, this is not. Okay. Okay, this is let's say this is that wire. Okay, this wire is not straight. So let us choose a section of this wire. So I mark it. I'm just taking a bit, not thick. This is smaller section of that wire. I'm just rubbing it and I am making it sure. Okay, that whatever you understand, I don't know. Again I draw with my black pen. Okay, this is a wire, any shape, and let us say use a yellow section, and the part of that wire is yellow. Okay, this smaller yellow one. This is, and that value, its length, yellow part having a length dl, which is current. Okay, and here is your point P, where you are supposed to measure the what, electric field. So from the center of that yellow I try to draw a straight line toward point P, or a little bit more. I'm just trying, it is very small. Okay, from the center of that yellow part, dl length, and with I am using one arrow, one more line, not with black pen but with some other pen, dark, and again from the same point. Okay, sorry, from the same point, huh? But it should be perpendicular to that section. Now you can see the difference, and let's, I'm not naming it. So what you can see, which line is perpendicular? This brown line is perpendicular to the current element dl, and the angle between this position of point P, where we are supposed to find the magnetic field, and the angle between this. And let's say the current flowing in that wire is upward direction, that current is I. So if AB is, and if let's say at point P the magnetic field produced is dB due to the current element dl, the yellow one. Okay, then according to Biot-Savart laws, that dB, the magnetic, the field dB is directly proportional to the current flowing in conductor. Second, the current field dB is directly proportional to current element, means length dl. And again, the current dB is also proportional to the sine of angle between the sine of angle, sine theta, where theta is the angle actual perpendicular and that point P. And again, dB is inversely proportional to 1 upon r square, where r is the distance from center of the current element to point P. Okay, this distance is r. So after combining all these, use a new slide. You can simply say dB is proportion to I dl, combining all, if you remember, sine theta upon r square. So the magnetic field at point P, due to that, current element will be given by this. As again, dB is equal to, when you remove proportion, there will be a sign, and that proportional sign is simply mu 0 upon 4 pi, okay, into, you don't confuse with, otherwise you will be there will be problem. I am just writing, why I am doing this, it is 2 here, 4 pi I dl sine theta upon r square, where nu 0 is a new quantity which is called, just like in epsilon 0 is permittivity of free space, where nu 0 is permeability. Permeability of free space. Okay, and you know the 4 pi and other things. So complete, and the value of this constant, and the value of this nu 0 upon 4 pi comes around 10k power minus 7. And the unit of magnetic field that we forget is Weber per meter square. Weber, WBV shortcut, per meter square, or you can say like that. So let's go back to our, I think again I have to upload. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, this only. Let's open the last chapter. Now we can open that section 4.5. Okay, the things which all okay, this is, and why now here you can see it is in ideal cross. What is this? Now here you can see ideal sin theta upon 4.11 is the form which we have done, and in vector form, the magnetic field will be nu 0 upon 4 pi ideal cross r upon r cube, where ideal is a vector quantity into r, that is why it is r cube down, otherwise it is r square. The vector form is equation 4.1 is in vector form, and 4b is in non-vector form. And where the nu 0 upon 4 pi, as I said, it is 10k power minus 7. So there are a lot of things which we will discuss later as the things come up. There are no derivation. And the outcome, if you look at equation 4.11, it is in vector form, so dl cross r, so the direction of r, if you look at our previous diagram, the direction of r will be upward and r is the position vector. If you look at here, direction is of I is toward here and r is here, so this dotted line is direction of I, and this blue line is for r. So the direction of, as we remember, if we remember, the vector product is a vector product, I and R. So as per the vector product, if the two vectors, then third vectors, the product of two, the cross product of two vector will give you third vector, and whose direction is perpendicular to both the vectors. So and third vector is the dB. So magnetic field is a vector. So magnetic field produced by a current carrying wire is always perpendicular to the plane containing ideal and I and R as per the vector product. What is importance? I'm just reading. This law is similar to Coulomb's law. It is only applicable to very small length of conductor. And also magnetic field inside the conductor is 0. For at any other point on the axial line, there are so many conclusions, so I'm not. So now our next part, next aim is to, there are so, okay, this is you can do. Okay, magnetic field on the axis of a circular current loop. But before we go, it is just like by application of if you remember, application of Coulomb's law. So it's just like application of Biot-Savart law. The Biot-Savart law, the first application, the simple one, is to find out the magnetic field due to long straight. Okay, earlier we have not used this straight for the derivation, or for the Biot-Savart law we have drawn a circular. We have drawn not any shape conductor, but here if we have a straight conductor, long straight conductor of finite length, so how much is the magnetic field at point P, which is not, this portion is not here, so it is they directly come to the circular current loop. Magnetic field on the axis of current we will study, but before that we have to study magnetic field due to long straight conductor carrying current. And to explain that, I have to again use my whiteboard. Okay, magnetic field, I'll simply write magnetic field due to long straight, that is much important, conductor carrying wire, carrying current. Okay, this is what we are going. So for that we need a conductor. So let us say choose let us choose a conductor of definite length. Okay, I'm just trying to draw as much. This is a conductor. Let's name it XY, and okay. So what we have done, consider a long straight conductor XY which is on the plane of paper. We have drawn it. Okay, and current flowing through is I. Let us say the current is flowing through is I. So let us name it I. Current is flowing through it, and which flow from X to Y. Here it is it is Y to X. Okay, don't worry about that. Then magnetic field has to be now. Let us choose a point P. I use another pen. Here is your point P, where we have to find magnetic field. Okay, due to this straight conductor. So from P, what I'll do, I choose a straight line, draw a straight line perpendicularly. Okay, it seems a straight line, and let's say the distance is from P the length of this, remember, I'm just trying. To here, it is A. Okay, it's you can say the point P is perpendicularly at distance A from the wire. So let's that we name it, that point is C. It is much easier. That is for we have, okay. Now from C, let us choose a current element. I'll use the, okay, current element again, like that. So here I'll choose one current element. Okay, you cannot see it, so I use black one again instead of that. Okay, this is a current element dl, which is, and from the center, and from the center of current element, this black is current element. I'm just darken it. And from the center, from C, the current from the C and from center of current element, from C, it is at a distance L. Okay, this distance we are talking about is L from CN. Okay, is small l, and the current element length is, we always say it is dl. Okay, from C it is at distance L, and its current element length itself is dl. And again, let's draw the so from the center of this current element, oh sorry, we draw a line to, oh yeah, this, again two lines, one is perpendicular to the wire and another one from this current element. We are trying to find out electric magnetic field at point with strength of magnetic field. So from simplicity, we know from Biot-Savart law. From Biot-Savart law, we simply say the magnetic field at point P, the strength of magnetic field at point P, due to, okay, I have to use pen, dB, let's say, is equal to how much? So it is from, so it will be simply dB is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi, and I current dl, and theta I forget, angle between the conductor and this is theta, ideal sine theta upon r square, and r is the length from P to this current element, so this is r. Just simply draw here the perpendicular distance a and the actual distance is r. This is, but this is due to this small element, but we have to find, what is our purpose, to find out the magnetic field to the whole wire, and to cover the whole wire, or to find out the magnetic field due to this complete XY wire. So I'll choose, for simplicity, what I'll do, this, okay, I'll use some other pen because, okay, the position, it is from here, I have to cover this complete, okay, x to y. So, and let's say that earlier angle is here, this angle is phi, what phi, it is this, phi, and now from P, this extreme end, we join a line, so from P again, from that main line CP, the angle made by this PY is phi 1, let's say it, and the angle again from central line to px, and this angle is phi 2, means how much angle it will we have to cover. Okay, and so let's go to the new one. Cancel, let me do something also. So let's see the relation between theta and phi. As we know, in this triangle, this is 90 degrees, so theta and phi, theta plus phi is equal to 90 degree, or simply theta is equal to 90 minus phi. Okay, 90 minus phi. Okay, this is the relation we are going to. Okay, so now I'll put these values over here in dB, but before we use it, I have to further go. Don't save it. Now those, we know sine theta is a term in this formula, so sine, now we can write 90 minus phi, and this will turn into cos phi. Okay, remember cos phi. And if you remember, where is the phi? It is simply the angle between the shortest distance. If you remember, what is was phi? It is just like this. Here was your phi, here is your theta. Okay, this is here. If you remember, this is your phi, this angle, and this was your theta. Okay, so, and this was a, the distance from p to c was a, and this was r. So cos phi from this right angle triangle, you can simply a cos phi is equal to, and this was L, distance. Okay, current element. Again I repeat, I use a different pen because, and this was L. So from this diagram, you can simply cos phi is equal to what? Base upon hypotenuse. What was base? Base is a for this triangle and hypotenuse is r, so it is a upon r. Okay, we have to further, now we got cos phi is equal to a upon r. I'm just again writing cos phi is equal to a upon r, or simply a is equal to or cos phi, or r is equal to, we transpose cos phi downward, so and cos 1 upon cos phi is sec phi, so we can write it is a sin phi, no sec phi, so my mistake. So r comes around a sec phi. Why I am doing, you will understand. And again, if you look at that diagram, we can simply, just like we have find out cos phi, we can find out tan phi also. Tan phi will be, if you remember, tan phi is base upon perpendicular upon base. So perpendicular line was L and base was A, if you remember. So L upon A. Or from this you can simply get L. Okay, you can, what you can say, L, L is equal to A tan phi. And if I differentiate this equation with respect to phi, dl upon dl phi, then dl upon d phi is equal to a is a constant which is fixed. So tan phi, differentiation of tan phi, sec square phi, sec square phi. So dl upon d phi is sec square phi. Or further I use a rubber, so on differentiate I'll use a rubber. So use a rubber, very small rubber. What I don't know. Or simply from this only, from this equation only I am doing. So I can write dl is equal to a sec square phi d phi. I'm just cross multiplying. This d phi is common to here. So dl is equal to a sec square phi. There are so many things, you can check out your textbook even. So now after this, now we'll come to our main problem. What was our db mu 0 4 pi, if you remember, idl sine theta upon r square. This is actually equation equivalent magnitude by a smaller section. So now I'll transform mu 0 upon phi, leave it, I is can be, but dl, now we have got the value of dl, which is what, a sec square phi d phi. Okay, and sine theta is cos phi. We already know sine theta is 90 minus, so it is now here I can write cos phi upon, or r, which talk about r is a sec theta. So a sec square phi, a sec square phi. Okay, a square sec square phi, remember. So now sec square pi is cancelled, again something happened, sec square pi cancel, 1 a from down and up is cancelled. So what is left? So we left with simple. So db comes on, why we have done it, you might be wonder. It is called transformation of variable to make problem. So things, so the left things were I upon a cos phi d phi. These are the things left after. Now as I aim to find out the magnetic field to the complete wire, so I'll simply integrate it. So integrations, so left hand side dx integration is x, so db integration will be b, to find out the magnetic field due to the complete xy wire length. So mu 0 4 pi can be taken out, what else can be, a can be taken out, I is also can be taken out. What is left is cos phi d phi. And if you remember, we have extended phi from phi 1 to phi 1 to phi to phi 1 to phi 2 to cover the complete wire. So now the lower limit is phi 1 minus phi 1 because in downward direction, and upper limit is phi 2. So on the, so we have changed variable. This is called change of variable to simplify the problem. This is one of the mathematical things. Okay, changing of variable from one to another, just to simplify it. So we have done it. So after integrating, what we'll get, So B is equal to remaining thing mu 0 upon 4 pi a up is I. So after integrating, cos phi integration is sin phi. Okay, positive sign, and limit minus phi 1 to phi 2. So again leaving this constant apart, so okay, cancel. So sin phi first value will be phi 2, sin phi 2, then minus sin minus phi 1 bracket में. And if you remember, minus sin minus phi 1 in trigonometry, it is minus sin phi. So second time this minus will come out, so it is simply come sin phi 2 plus sin phi 1, and remaining terms as it is mu 0 upon 4 pi I upon a. So the complete magnetic field due to the magnetic field at point P due to xy wire is simply mu 0 upon 4 pi I upon a sin phi 2 plus sin phi 1. Now if you look at the special cases in this formula, for example, if phi 1 equal to phi 2 is equal to 90 degree, what does it mean? That means we have infinitely long wire. On infinite long wire, let's say this is our point P, this was our point P, and here xy, it is our xy. So phi 1 phi 2, no, from this was our phi 1 and this was our phi 2. Okay, now on infinite wire, then no length, so this become longer, this become longer, so one, so this become 90. So in that case, infinite long wire which we have done, so so value of sin 90 is 1, so both will got 1, so the answer will be mu 0 upon 4 pi I upon a, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, sin phi 1 sin phi 2, which is equal to 2, so 2 will 2 1 2, so answer will be cancelled out. So mu 0 upon 2 pi a, mu 0 I upon 2, this is a magnetic field, and other cases you can see in the textbook as well. So we are finishing tomorrow and we'll see later on.